I'm going to tell you something that will make you uncomfortable, and I'm not saying it to be dramatic or poetic or clever. I'm saying it because I don't have the luxury of softening it anymore. I'm dying in 3 weeks, 21 days, not maybe, not we'll see, not if the treatment works. 3 weeks, and I know how that sounds, like a title someone would use to grab attention. But I'm not trying to grab attention. I'm trying to grab you by the wrist before you waste the one thing you can never earn back. Right now, I'm lying in a hospital bed, the kind with rails on the sides, like you might roll out of your own life if nobody's watching. I'm wearing that thin gown that never closes properly, and there's a plastic bracelet on my wrist with my name, my date of birth, and a barcode, like I've been reduced to something that can be scanned. Next to me, there's a machine that beeps steadily, like it's counting, like it's reminding me my body is still negotiating with time. The room smells like antiseptic and overcooked food. The lights are always too bright or too dim. And somewhere down the hall, someone laughs. That's the strangest part. The world keeps moving. People are still ordering coffee. Someone is still refreshing their email. Someone is still annoyed about traffic. The world doesn't pause for your crisis. It just steps around it and keeps going. And the thing I didn't expect is that I'm still me. I'm still the same woman who used to get irritated when someone walked too slowly in front of me. Still the same woman who used to rehearse conversations in her head that never happened. Still the same woman who used to say, "I'll call you back," and then wouldn't. Still the same woman who thought she was busy, thought she was responsible, thought she was doing life correctly. I used to think I was drowning in life, like everything was too much, like I couldn't catch up no matter how hard I tried. Turns out I wasn't drowning in life. I was drowning in things that didn't matter, and I didn't realize it until the countdown started. The day I found out, I thought I was going in for a check. You know how we do that? We feel something is off, but we minimize it because naming it makes it real. I was tired, but not normal tired. The kind of tired sleep doesn't fix. The kind that sits behind your eyes and makes everything feel heavier than it should. I told myself it was stress. I told myself it was age. I told myself it was just a phase. I was sitting on that crinkly paper on the exam table, swinging my legs like a child, thinking I'd be back at work by noon, mentally planning the rest of my day. Then the doctor came in with a face that was already half apologizing. He didn't sit down right away, and that's when I knew. He said words like advanced and aggressive and not responding, and they floated above my head like language I wasn't ready to understand. I watched his mouth move and felt like I was underwater, but then he said, "I'm sorry," and that sentence landed hard. When someone says, "I'm sorry," like that, they're not apologizing. They're delivering a verdict. I didn't cry. I nodded. I asked practical questions. I took notes like it was a meeting, because that's what I'd always done, turned feelings into tasks. If I could organize it, maybe it wouldn't break me. Later that night, alone in a quiet room that suddenly felt too big, I opened my phone and scrolled through my messages. And that's when the grief really hit. Not for my life ending, but for the life I didn't really live while I was alive. The texts I never answered because I was busy. The calls I meant to return when things calmed down. The invitations I declined because I was tired or distracted or saving my energy for something that never actually arrived. That's what no one tells you. The tragedy isn't just that life ends. The tragedy is how many people are already gone while they're still breathing. Here's the biggest lie we all believe, and this one sentence has stolen more lives than any illness ever could. The lie is, I have time. I'll do it when things calm down. I'll travel when I have more money. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll say what I feel later. Later sounds responsible, mature, safe, but later is a thief because later isn't promised. And even if it comes, you might not be the same person by then. You might be more tired, more afraid, more used to ignoring yourself. You might have shrunk your life so quietly that you don't even notice until it's too small to breathe in. 3 weeks does something to your mind. It strips away the illusion that you're in control. It forces brutal honesty. And here's the uncomfortable truth I've learned. Most of my stress was optional, not all of it. Life is hard. People have real responsibilities. But most of my stress came from trying to be good enough for people who wouldn't show up for me if I was falling apart. From chasing approval that never actually filled me. From living like I had to earn rest, earn love, earn my place in the world. I spent years trying to be impressive. And lying here, I can tell you this with certainty. Being impressive is one of the biggest wastes of a human life. Do you know what I miss? Not my inbox, not my job title, not the praise I worked so hard for, not money. I miss ordinary mornings, coffee that tastes normal, sunlight through a window, fresh air that doesn't smell like disinfectant, sitting with someone I love without checking my phone every few minutes like I'm afraid of being alone with my own thoughts. I miss laughing so hard my stomach hurts. I miss boredom. I miss silence. I miss the moments I rushed through because I was obsessed with getting to the next thing. Those moments weren't small. They were the whole thing. I used to believe life was made of big moments. Weddings, promotions, achievements, the highlights you post and remember. But life is mostly ordinary days. It's laundry and conversations and shared meals and quiet drives. It's familiar faces and routines you don't notice until they're gone. And those are the days you'll beg to have back when you can't. Happiness isn't a destination you arrive at someday when everything finally lines up. It's a way of moving through your life. And if you keep postponing it until your real life begins, you might wake up one day and realize your real life already happened while you were planning it. I climbed the ladder like I was supposed to. I worked hard. I said yes. I pushed through exhaustion. I ignored my body when it whispered and even when it screamed. I told myself I was building a life, but I wasn't. I was building a resume. I kept waiting for the moment I'd finally arrive and breathe. That moment never came. The goalposts moved. One achievement turned into another chase. One finish line revealed another one behind it. It was a hamster wheel, and the wheel doesn't stop until something stops it. For me, it was death. For you, I hope it's this. If you only take one thing from me, take this. Stop living like you're immortal. Not in a dark way, in a freeing way. When you stop pretending you have forever, you stop wasting today. You stop tolerating things that are slowly killing you. You stop staying in relationships where you feel invisible. You stop working yourself into numbness. You stop waiting for permission. You stop saving joy, love, and rest for later. You stop bargaining with your own life like you'll cash it in someday. Ask yourself this honestly. If you had 3 weeks, what would you stop doing immediately? What meetings would you cancel without guilt? What arguments would suddenly feel ridiculous? Who would you call without rehearsing the conversation first? What fear would lose its grip on you the moment you realize time is finite? And then ask yourself the harder question, why aren't you doing at least some of that now? I know the answer you want to give. I have responsibilities. So did I. But responsibilities don't require self-abandonment. You can still live a real life inside a busy one. You can still choose presence. You can still choose honesty. You can still choose what matters. The people you love are not permanent. I need you to hear that without turning away. You will lose people and you don't know when. You never know it's the last time. The last conversation doesn't announce itself. The last hug feels ordinary. The last laugh sounds just like all the others. That's why you don't save kindness. That's why you don't ration affection. That's why you don't let pride sit between you and love. Call them, tell them, go see them. Not when it's convenient, not when you feel ready. Now. I wish I'd said I love you more easily, not dramatically, casually, like it was obvious because it was. I wish I'd told people what they meant to me while they were still here to hear it. I wish I'd stopped assuming people knew. Adulthood makes us stingy with our words. We act like love is implied. We act like time is guaranteed. And one day, implication is all you have left. I'm not telling you to quit your job and disappear into the woods. I'm not telling you to blow up your life. I'm telling you to live it awake. Make your life smaller in the best way. Fewer obligations that drain you, more meaning, fewer distractions, more presence, fewer things you tolerate out of fear. Live like your days are numbered without becoming afraid of living. Knowing my end has made the noise fade. The performance doesn't matter anymore. The opinions don't matter. The pretending doesn't matter. What's left is the truth. I didn't need most of what I chased. I needed presence, honesty, softness. I needed to stop fighting myself. You don't have to be extraordinary to be deeply loved. You don't have to earn your worth. You just have to be here. So don't watch this and think, and that was sad, and move on with your day unchanged. Do one thing, just one. Call someone you've been putting off. Start the thing you keep postponing, even if you start badly. Remove one thing that drains your life. Say no where you've been saying yes out of fear. Stop waiting to become someone you can finally love. Love is not a reward at the end of self-improvement. It's the ground you stand on while you grow. I'm dying in 3 weeks. The only difference between me and you is that I got a date. You didn't. That doesn't mean you have more time. It means you have less clarity. And clarity is everything. If I could look you in the eye right now, lying here in this bed, this is what I'd say as plainly as I can. Don't wait until the end to begin. Don't wait for a diagnosis to wake up. Don't wait for life to scare you into honesty. You don't need a tragedy to change your life. You just need truth. And you have that choice today, right now, while you're still here.